It's almost winter here in Georgia, so sometime over the next few months it's possible that we will get our annual 2 inches of snow, which is also possible that will shut the city down, so we might need some emergency stuff on hand. One of the things that we might need is some lighting, and one of my favorite long-term trusted lighting appliances, for lack of a better term, is good old trusty Coleman lantern. So I actually recently bought a couple of new Coleman lanterns. I thought it'd be a good idea to make a quick video to talk about why I think this dual fuel lantern is such a good choice for emergency lighting and camp lighting, and how to get it set up, how to get it started, how to deal with those pesky little mantles, and just overall do a quick overview of this lantern. So that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So as I said, today we're going to talk about this Coleman dual fuel lantern. As you can see, by the way, it's a brand new and the mantles have not been installed yet, because I wanted to show you, kind of show that on camera, just in case there's any questions about that. Like I said, I've been using these lanterns, these Coleman style lanterns, for years and years, and we're going to talk about, again, why I think this is a great lantern and why I chose Coleman over some other brands. And again, we'll go over the setup and the operation of this thing, so there's no questions. Hopefully I can cover all that in somewhat relevant detail. But before we do that, I want to take just a minute to give a big shout out to one of the channel sponsors. And today I got an email saying that my latest payment to Acre Gold had gone through. And if you're not familiar with Acre Gold is a way for people like you and me who don't have thousands of dollars to invest at one time to invest in some gold and to get actual physical gold in our hot little hands without a whole lot of pain. They have two different setups. You can give them $50 a month or $30 a month, kind of a subscription service. And whenever your account balance reaches the price of 2.5 grams of gold, they'll send you 2.5 grams of gold. It comes in an unmarked envelope, straight to your mailbox, so it doesn't look like, it's not stamped like steel meat all over it, but it really is a good way to invest in some gold, and it's reasonably painless. Like I said, $30 a month or $50 a month. So I'll put a link in the video description below to Acre Gold. So anyway, thanks again to Acre Gold for being a channel sponsor. And I'm not only, kind of like the hair club for me, and not only are they a sponsor, but I'm a customer. I send them my $50 every month because I just think it's a good idea. So anyway, that being said, let's talk about this Coleman lantern. So I'm going to take you down the stump top in just a second, but before I do, you know there's going to have to be just a little extra rambling here. So I just want to tell you why I chose the Coleman lantern over like maybe a Primus, or I think there's a few other brands out there. And honestly, I just chose the Coleman because they are tried and true. The parts are available for them from every single part that you need. You can order from Coleman to get if you need to repair this thing or to service it. They have a really good warranty. They're just they have a good reputation, and I personally have years and years and even decades of good experience using Coleman lanterns. So that being said, let me like you can see, this is a brand new one. I'm going to take you down to the old stump top. We're going to show you exactly how to set this thing up from brand new, and then we'll show you how to operate it. We'll let it get dark, show you how well this thing throws out some light, and we'll wrap this thing up. So let's do that now. Okay, so here is the Coleman dual fuel lantern, and by dual fuel, what that means is you can run either white gas, which is lantern fuel. Coleman fuel is what we used to call it, but this is an off-brand, a little bit cheaper than the Coleman brand. Or you can use unleaded gasoline. It's got to be unleaded, not leaded. One more thing about that. So 1 gallon of Coleman liquid fuel lasts as long as 4.5 cylinders of propane. So I've got some of the propane lanterns, and they work really well. They're really a little more convenient than these. You just screw a bottle on them and you use them. But when you're out of propane bottles, you're out of propane bottles. This allows you to be able to just go to the gas station if you need to. And I also like these because they're a little more stable, because you got the weight of the liquid down here on the base. So the propane ones, you really have to have a little plastic base for them to keep them from tipping over. By the way, I want to interrupt this part of the video to give you one quick, very, very important caution. This is a fuel burning appliance, and like any appliance which burns petroleum-based fuels, it's going to give off carbon monoxide. So if you're going to use this, it needs to be used outdoors in a really ventilated area. And If you're gonna use it inside, which I don't recommend it, they don't recommend it, but you want to make sure you have plenty of ventilation, because every year it seems like I hear stories from the Boy Scouts where somebody died because they had a lantern or a heater, a kerosene heater of some kind in a tent, a propane heater, and the carbon monoxide killed them. So don't do that. Now let's continue with the stump top portion of our video. So when I get this thing, when you get it or I get it, it's going to come kind of all packaged up, with everything's protected and wrapped up properly. But basically it consists of four basic components. You got the main body here with everything on it. You got the globe here. It's called a globe. You know, the glass or whatever. You got the top with the handle on it, and you got a little nut here to screw on. Now, to make this thing light, you got to have what they're calling these are called mantles, and these are Coleman mantles. They make off-brand mantles too. These are number 21, like so. And they also make, these are the tie ones. They also make easy clip ones, which have a little metal clips they're easier to use for sure, but they cost significantly more. But here's how you put these things on, just so we're clear. You just want to put them on. You can see they got a little bit of a kind of a gathered up drawstring here, like so. Just put those things on, and I like to pull the drawstring out kind of away, and I try to make them even. Okay, it's, you know, just so that they're not all bunched up on one end. So take just a minute to try to get them even, because and then you got to tie them. And this is where it really the Insta clip ones with a little wire clip do come in pretty handy, because if you got fat fingers like me, sometimes it's a little difficult. Even though I am a Boy Scout and I'm pretty good at knots, you got to really work them a little harder. And I like to tie at least a square knot or a granny knot or whatever it turns out to be, because I don't remember whether I went left over right or right over left. But either way, I'll put that on there like so. Then they recommend that you cut off the string at about 1/4 inch from the mantle itself, and do that on the other side as well. And I try to turn these things around honestly where they're not hitting anything, but it's not going to matter, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So let me put the other one on here. These are actually what they're kind of like the filaments in a light bulb. They are what actually glows and creates the light. You got to have these to make it light. Okay, so that's step one. You tie that on there. Now here's step two, which is a little bit maybe something people have questions about. You want to light these and let them burn to an ash. So take a match and just hold it underneath there a few places, and they're going to start burning, and they'll just kind of glow. It's kind of like, they'll do that kind of like charcoal. Now I just hold that match on there, let them go, let them burn up, and do the other one the same way. Let them burn all the way up. Oh, burn my hand. Got enough. Let's get another match. And when this is done, they're going to be very brittle. So you're gonna, you don't want to jar this thing around. And having said that, I can tell you, you're going to need to make sure you buy some extra mantles. It comes with 2, but you're going to want more, because these are not going to last pretty much. If you just put it on the shelf carefully, it's probably going to be okay. If I go camping in one of these and put it in my truck, even though it's in a case, and I'll show you that in just a minute also, when I get home, usually the mantles are disintegrated. So next, you just want to put the globe back on, put your lid on like so, and then screw the little knob on top. And there, it's kind of knurled for your fingers, and just there you go. So there's that. Now, next step is to fill the lantern with fuel. And when you're doing that, you're going to want to use a funnel. And this, the lantern comes with a funnel. Actually, for me, I bought the entire kit, which came with the funnel and this this little case. And let me show you how the case works real quick. We'll get to that. It's not the greatest case in the world, honestly. I think the one that comes with the propane is better, because it's got a better latch on it. It's got an actual latch. This one, it slides down on there, and you got to make sure you get your, so you kind of get everything lined up, and then it's just got these little, okay, I don't have something lined up. Okay, I do. So just got these little things here that pushes on there. So it's just friction, basically. It's just, So if that's not latched, this thing could come off and you're gonna drop it and break it. So be really careful when carrying with that. So that's just a little pro tip for you. Ask me how I know that. But we'll put that aside for a minute because I've kind of got off track here. But that's the case, and I think this thing was about 120 bucks with the case. So like I said, it comes with a funnel. You notice the funnel's got a little filter in there. So what you want to do is go ahead and make sure the pump valve is closed, and it's got a little arrow on it. If you can see right there, it's got a little arrow. Can you see that? It shows you to which way's closed. Close it. Make sure it's closed tightly. Open your cover. Some of the old ones had a little chain in there to keep this thing, the cap, from falling off. I guess the newer ones don't. Put your funnel in there like so, and put your fuel here like so, with a childproof cap on it. I hate these things. Man, I hate them. You don't know how I hate them. Am I the only one that hates these things? Got it off. Okay, so another little pro tip. If you can turn the can where the spout is kind of towards the top, it won't gurgle and glug as much on you. So if you do it like this, see, it's already started spilling. Or if you turn this up top where you got the air, you can get it closer. If you sit it over close to the edge of the table or stump or whatever you're using, it makes it better too. You can get it closer before it starts pouring out, so you can kind of pour it in like so. And then I just fill it up like this and let the keep the filter funnel kind of full, and fill it up. Check it every now and then because you don't want to overfill it, obviously. See how full it is. All right, she's pretty full. I don't think, maybe too full. We'll find out. So screw the lid back on. Remove the funnel out of the way. And one thing I will say about this funnel is it's really hard to get the funnel and the lantern in the this case. There's just really not a lot of room. Every now and then it's like putting together a puzzle. I'll get it in there, but what I've decided to do is, and I think it makes more sense, just go ahead and for storage purposes, the bag it came in is a Ziploc baggie. It's got two little holes here, and I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and take a zip tie, a tie strap, and just tie it to the handle like so it'll be there, and I can still undo it and get the funnel out if I need it, or when I need it. Actually, it won't be a if, it'll be a when. Okay, so there's that. Now we have filled the lantern, we have pre-lit the mantles. So the way this thing works is you got a little pump here that you pump it, and it pressurizes the tank, and that's what creates the pressure to drive the fuel up through the center of the generator. That little brass tube in the middle is called the generator, and out into the mantles. So what they say to do is open this thing one full turn counterclockwise. So I'm going to do that's 25, 50, 75, 100%. So that's one full turn. And they say to pump it like 30 full strokes. So you put your finger over the hole here, there's a little hole in it, and then pump it 30 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 29, 30. So, and then close it back. So there's a lot of fuel in here, so that's pretty tight. If it gets down low, it's going to be easier to pump. You probably have to pump it more times. So now we're checking for leaks. We're going to just turn this on real quickly, and it should start coming out up top here. We don't want that. You can hear it, so turn it off. We know we got pressure. We can hear it hissing. There's no leaks here, no leaks here, no leaks coming anywhere. So now we're going to light it. And you can buy an electronic lighter, one that's got electronic piezo lighter in it. You can also just buy a little piezo lighter that fits right up in the hole here. But the most matches are not long enough to quite reach it, so that's one drawback for using matches. We're going to start this thing though. We can hear it, and then I just hold this match up in there and let it. Okay, it went out. Trying to do this left-handed on camera, and I'm not left-handed, so we'll try. But this is the hole you light it in. So look at this thing going. Turn it up. Oh, there it goes. So Didn't take much, so you can see it's got a lot of burn off there. So I just like to just let it burn itself off, and that's getting everything situated. You know, start it with it like medium, and then as you turn it up, you get to the point once they really get situated, you won't be able to see a flame anymore like right now, and that's wide open. And you see those things are very, very white, and they're putting out like 700 lumens, which is pretty stinking bright for a lantern. And then if you want to turn it down, obviously you just turn it down, and it'll still glow. And that's really one of the things I like about these. You can turn them down low for soft light. If you really need a lot of light, you can turn them up. And like I say, we've used these things. This thing will light up a good portion of the campsite. And if it starts, if you got it up and you notice the light level dim, you can always just unscrew it, pump it up some more, even while it's burning, and screw it back up, and it'll be fine. So there's that. So what I thought we'd do is we'll let it get dark. Let's see if there's any other facts I need to tell you. 700 lumens. This lasts up to 5.25 hours on high, or 13.5 hours on low on 1 1/4 pints of Coleman fuel, or Crown fuel, or unleaded gasoline. And there you go. So let's let it get dark, show you how well it works, and we'll wrap her up. Okay, so let it get heated up, kind of get everything situated. So as you can see that once it's kind of gets started, it takes it a minute to really come up to full brightness, but that's pretty stinking bright. Obviously you can see it lights up a pretty good area here. Now we'll go ahead and turn it down a little bit. You can see what the difference is. Maybe as it turns down, lowers the intensity a little bit. So you can crank it down a little bit like that, or you can crank it back up, and there you go. Really good amount of light, definitely. And if you hang it up, it lights up, you know, the area even better. And then one other thing I want to show you: when you turn it off, when you first turn it off, usually it takes it just a minute to die down. So you got it turned off. You can see it's still glowing just a little bit now. I've turned it completely off. It takes it a couple of minutes for the pressurized gas that's in the system, so to speak, to kind of make its way out and to burn up. But it'll shut down now by itself in just a minute. So there you go. Chuck Norris beat the sun in a staring contest. Okay, hopefully that was a reasonably concise look at the Coleman dual fuel double mantle lantern. And there are several of these on Amazon. It's pretty confusing, really. I bought mine on Amazon, and I spent way more time doing the research than I thought I would have to, trying to figure out which one was best, because there's like 5 or 6 different ones on Amazon. There's not a lot of descriptions. So if you want this exact one, oh, it's hot still. Burn my hand. If you want this exact one, the item number is 30000004257. That's this one. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes random videos throughout the week. If you want to support the channel financially, I invite you to go to patreon.com/survivalonpurpose. And if you want to find out some of the secret benefits I cannot talk about in public for supporting the channel on Patreon, I invite you to go to survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe. Get signed up for my weekly email newsletter, and I'll tell you all the secret stuff there. So I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared, and I'll see you next time.